On November 30, 2025, a brief announcement appeared on the official website of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, CCDI. Xinjiang Executive Vice Chairman Chen Weijun is under investigation for suspected serious violations of discipline and law. What seemed like a routine notice has triggered a shockwave in officialdom. Within just 1 month, 5 vice-ministerial level officials in Xinjiang have fallen one after another: Liu Chen, Jin Zhizhen, Jiang Xinjuan, Ma Jijun, and Chen Weijun, all former subordinates of former Xinjiang Party Secretary Ma Xingrui. 2 days earlier, on November 28, at the Politburo Collective Study session, Ma Xingrui's seat, which should have been at the head of the table, was conspicuously empty. CCDI Secretary Li Shi was also absent. Although the meeting reviewed the inspection report and emphasized high-pressure anti-corruption, it notably omitted any mention of the 2 establishments, inevitably sparking deep speculation. The 66-year-old aerospace young marshal, Ma Xingrui, a key balancing piece for Xi, has suddenly vanished from the political stage. Amid the storm of domestic and international public opinion, more and more voices are pointing to the clever moves by elders like Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao. Behind this seems to be a meticulously orchestrated political counterattack. Through Ma Xingrui's downfall, Xi's faction is facing a comprehensive purge. Is this a clever layout, or an inevitable political showdown? Today, we will take you to explore how this power hunt behind the scenes is reshaping the mainland's political landscape. At the Politburo study session on November 28, 2025, Ma Xingrui's empty seat raised immediate questions. How could Ma Xingrui, as a key member of Xi's faction, suddenly disappear at such a critical moment? Meanwhile, a series of anti-corruption measures announced by the CCDI also reveal deeper layers of political struggle. Li Shi's absence from this meeting fueled even more speculation and associations, suggesting that in the chess game of top-level political infighting, certain key figures are quietly losing power. What followed was a series of shocking revelations circulating in unofficial channels. On November 18, social media disclosed that Ma Xingrui and his wife had been taken away by the Heilongjiang Discipline Inspection Commission and temporarily detained at the Huangshan Cadre Center. Bafflingly, Rongli, Peng Liyuan's best friend White Glove, is suspected of involvement in the flow of 7 to 8 billion yuan in funds, which were routed through Hong Kong and Singapore to Canada. Even more attention-grabbing for outsiders is whether Ma Xingrui's deep ties to the Peng Liyuan family played an unknown role in this series of corruption cases. Furthermore, the Xinda case, involving Ma Xingrui, reveals the complexity of his operations in the nexus of politics and business. Analysts believe these could all be part of a power struggle, with elders like Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao possibly cleansing Xi Jinping's power system through ingenious political maneuvers. Regardless, Ma Xingrui's fall undoubtedly marks a significant victory for the anti-Xi forces. Ma Xingrui's downfall is not an isolated incident, it seems like the tip of the iceberg. More high-ranking officials' political storms may emerge next, potentially triggering an even larger political upheaval. And all of this seems to hide a larger chessboard behind it. In November, 5 vice-ministerial level officials in Xinjiang fell one after another: Liu Chen, Jin Zhizhen, Jiang Xinjuan, Ma Jijun, and Chen Weijun. Especially Chen Weijun, Ma Xingrui's capable right-hand man, who had been inseparable from him during his 3.5 years from Guangdong to Xinjiang. His downfall also means that the political network behind Ma Xingrui is facing severe tests. 3 blades gradually unfold: the layout of anti-Xi forces. This clever chess game is far from confined to Xinjiang's snowy plains and borders. The strategy of the anti-Xi forces is exceptionally clear. They aim to thoroughly replace Xi Jinping's provincial viceroys, especially those who rose by shouting slogans and flattering, either with their own people or with technocratic bureaucrats who keep their heads down and work without biting. 3 blades are thus unfolding step by step across the nation. First blade, Shaanxi Energy Muffled Thunder, reshuffle of the resource clique. In July, the CCDI's 6th round of inspections targeted Shaanxi, focusing on coal and ecological issues. The newly appointed Shaanxi Party Secretary Lan Fuan, a Fujian old subordinate, quickly exposed family coal bidding scandals upon taking office. Then, in August, Wang Yisan, Energy Vice Governor, Zhejiang Line, fell for suspected corruption, with family assets worth billions frozen or under investigation. This appears to be a cleanup of environmental and coal chaos through inspections, but behind it is actually a systematic purge of Xi Jinping's resource clique. This move signals that a nationwide power reshuffle has begun, and the layouts in all 31 provinces will gradually change. Second blade, Guangxi Southwest undercurrents, severing the southern economic chain. The tentacles of inspections continued southward, with Guangxi becoming the second focus. Newly appointed Secretary Lu Ning, Shanghai old subordinate, swiftly exposed family money laundering scandals in Bibu Gulf border trade shortly after taking office, with billions in funds flowing back through Vietnam. In September, Economic Vice Governor Fei Zhirong, Fujian Line, was investigated for corruption, causing local GDP to drop 4%. On the surface, it's cleaning up ecological and border trade chaos. In reality, it's cutting off the southern economic chain and encircling the southern border clique. This blade not only impacts local economies but also accelerates central control over border trade interest networks, promoting the rise of the Huan faction and technocrats. Third blade, Jiangsu Tech Clique, structural reset in tech and economic reforms. Changes in economic and tech sectors are also quietly occurring. In 2023, after Xian Changxing, Beijing old subordinate, took over as Jiangsu Party secretary, scandals involving a 10 billion yuan fund in Suzhou Industrial Park were exposed. In July, CCDI inspections focused on tech and personnel issues. Immediately after, in October, Hu Guangjia, tech vice governor, Zhejiang Line, fell for corruption. Technocrats are gradually rising, and Xi's control over the tech sector is weakening. This blade not only alters local economies but also completes a structural reset in nationwide tech and economic domains, widening cracks in the national power network. Three blades in progression: resources, southern trade, tech. The rhythm of the three blades is clear and layered: resources, southern trade, tech. With each blade landing, cracks gradually appear in Xi Jinping's power system. GDP drops 5%, debts surge, and elders gradually take over economics and personnel through technocrats. On the surface, it seems stable, but undercurrents surge, and the purge cycle is unfolding nationwide. Kai Chi's sudden disappearance, prelude to turmoil in the central office power structure. On November 7, Kai Chi accompanied Xi Jinping on a visit to Meizhou, which should have been his last public appearance. However, in the following 12 days, he suddenly vanished, missing multiple key events, including the National Games opening ceremony, meetings with the kings of Spain and Thailand, and the November 17-18 Rule of Law Work Conference. It wasn't until November 20 that Kai Chi reappeared at the 110th anniversary commemoration of Hu Yaobang, but by then, he looked haggard, with prominent bags under his eyes and graying hair, appearing under immense pressure. This series of unusual expressions drew widespread media attention and quickly sparked external concerns about his physical and mental health, as well as his political status at the top levels. Dismissal of Secrecy Bureau personnel and systemic turmoil. Accompanying Kai Chi's sudden disappearance was the abrupt dismissal of Secrecy Bureau Director Li Xiaozong and Deputy Director Xingrui, immediately becoming a focal point of public opinion. Discussions on social platforms quickly pointed out that Kai Chi's system may already be implicated, and the central office institutions he directly oversees are facing severe turmoil. This series of political changes has almost become an open signal of internal power struggles in the central office. Especially rumors that Kai Chi was taken away by Zhang Youxia for assistance in investigations, which again evoke associations with the Xinjiang Xingrui incident, hinting at a profound power purge underway within the central office. Breaking the central office and the vacuum in Xi's faction. Analysts believe, moving Kai Chi is breaking the central office, equivalent to leaving the nerve center of Xi's faction in a vacuum. With Kai Chi's low-key disappearance, high-level figures like Wang Xiaohong, He Lifeng, and Li Shi quickly followed with operations, marking the quiet reshaping of central office power. As key nodes in the military commission and central office are gradually controlled, Xi Jinping's core decision-making power is facing severe challenges. Although he still nominally holds military power on the surface, in reality, Xi Jinping's authority has been gradually weakened, facing the hidden worry of becoming a figurehead. Power evisceration, a silent political earthquake. This series of events indicates that the process of this political earthquake is not a direct coup but rather, through systematic organizational structural adjustments combined with the silence or complete disappearance of key figures, gradually eviscerating the power of Xi's faction. Kai Chi's disappearance and the ensuing high-risk signals have issued a highly symbolic warning for the central office and the entire central system. This is not just a crisis for Xi's faction but an unprecedented, frozen test for the core nerves of the central office. The gradual erosion of power is unfolding in an eerily silent manner, challenging Xi Jinping's ruling foundation. Outsiders believe that the Huan clever moves are not merely a power reorganization, they may be quietly altering the entire pattern of mainland politics. As Xi's faction gradually disintegrates and the core power of the central office is eviscerated, Xi Jinping's figurehead crisis is intensifying. And behind all this, what strategy does the chessboard of Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao conceal? Are they aiming to completely break the game, or merely paving the way for future power transitions? The upcoming variables will profoundly influence the national political trajectory. What do you think this game will end like? Will the Huan checkmate become the true turning point?